This is Pastor Michael A. Lampkin, pastor of the Fresh Anointing Prosperity Ministries, the church where miracles happen.
God said the reason why I make you wait, so they can build up a greater sense of me. Because if I came 24/7, you wouldn't know how to take me. I'm going to make you wait sometimes. It's going to make you cry sometimes.
23. Actually, I just started pastoring, like becoming a full pastor. I was assistant pastor for about 4 or 5 years or so, and now I've just been elevated to pastor. And now my pastor, Pastor Patrick L. Lampkin, he serves as the overseer. And I've ever since I started preaching, I always had a struggle with. Let me just go right there. A struggle with trying to fit in with everybody else, to try to do the things, some people, they go to the, go out, go to the clubs, go to, everyone does, go drinking, partying. But somehow I found myself where it's not just, sometimes I wanted to do it just to be in the in crowd, as they say, but it just wouldn't let me do it. Or should I say God wouldn't just let me do it. That my walk with the Lord and my walk as a pastor, as a minister, is going to be a lonely walk. So I just kind of took that, and now as I get older, I'm learning to deal with it. That I can't do what everybody else does. I can't go where everybody else goes. And sometimes, it was like a straight standstill. When I wanted to go, it was like my whole body just stood still. I can't do what other people do. So, and I just thank God for that. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't get involved in. So that kind of works out, so it helps me to deal with that. Let me say, yeah. There's always, because I've always, I don't know why, but I always thought that, I guess, the other side, should I say, let's say the worldly side, always, rise quicker than, gospel artists. So I've always had every now and again I would struggle with that. There have been times I wanted to just go out for a little while and just, do my thing and then make some money here and there. Just, that way I can just get ahead, So that was one of my biggest struggles, because it took me, there have been songs that came to my mind that I just wanted to write and, just have somebody just give me the money for it. You don't got to know my name. You don't got to know where I stay at. Just give me a nice little penny for it and we good to go. You can take all the credit. You don't got to put my name on nothing. Some people knew because when it was like parent-teacher conference come by, my mama, she was just always just, he's like a little preacher, stuff like that. Man, I just look at her like, why you say that? I just want to go to school, do my homework, and just, go home. I'm out, he a preacher at the church like that. So, considering the fact that when I was in kindergarten and stuff, I used to wear suits to school. I know that's kind of So, and my mom would get mad, so I would, what she'd do every morning, she had to, I have to go and check in with her to make sure I got no suit on. And then, once I get out of her presence, take off my little dress, my street clothes, I think take them off, and then come to church all, not church, but come to school all suited and booted and stuff. They was pretty cool, like I said, I think more the teachers knew that I was a preacher more so than the kids. Only time they would know is like if I was at a church or something. But they knew I was a Christian boy. They knew I came from a church family. So I would tell them my parents are preachers before I would, that way. And I only did that not because I was ashamed of what I was, but cause if they would have asked me, I would have told them, yeah. But the fact that I didn't want nobody to treat me any kind of different, because I'm not here to pass judgment on anybody. So, so I dealt with it. It was kind of a struggle, because like I said, it goes back to question number one. I couldn't do what everybody else do, not trying to think that I'm all that, but I just couldn't do it. So, it helps. I just dealt with it.
After you've been going through for a while, then you can appreciate what you are. Put somebody to a face down for my heart, because I serve a God that allow you to answer what I want.
Maybe 2 or 3 times for people to not make, how it is when folks, they say certain, but they won't come out directly and say it to you, but you can tell by the words that they use that, this is just a little kid or a young boy. I had a lot of people say that, I had a lot of people say, well, don't forget where you come from, or don't get the big headed, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, they looked at me as, you know, being young. Even in, when we first started when my daddy first started his church, we had some people, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not, you know, calling names, but, you know, some people, you know what I'm saying, that just, I was a young minister, so I didn't get that much respect as I would say I'd have been 20 or should I say 30 years old or older, guy, you know what I'm saying? So some people still had a problem with it because like I said, I mean, when you don't understand, first of all, like I said, it's not up to you to make the decision. So some people did not understand. Some people quit coming to church because, you know, they wanted, you know, pastor, you know, my dad to just be in full control, but like I said, that's just the setup. You know, you have to prepare for the success. And not saying anything's going to happen, but you have to make sure that, you know, saying when the time comes, or, you know, the passing of the mantle is always in order. The hardest thing I would say is just not tripping off of people, because I know that was one of my problems. I always, even now, when I go to preach, or when I know somebody that's a good preacher, I always try to say, okay, well, am I going to do this right? Or, I mean, that goes from being a pastor, a musician, singer, you know, I said, well, man, I ain't that good, you know what I'm saying? I tell people like that, I'm not that good, I'm not that good of a preacher, but deep down inside, I know what God has given me, and I'm not trying to boast and brag, but I know he was giving me a word on the inside. So I think that's the hardest thing I deal with, is trying to see what other people think about me as a person. Now I'm kind of getting over that, but that was one of my oppositions. You know, what do people think about, you know, when I deliver a sermon, or did I get all the points right? Did I say something wrong? Did I sing a wrong note? I would say young, radical, and coming up. I would say that, you know what I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you on that.
Baby saints, or people that have kind of been here, I mean, just, have you ever really paid attention to it?
Not because I get like, just to be truthful, I get like, some is young, some is I meet some people that are middle aged, then I meet a couple of older people that are drawn to the ministry that I've had, you know, go with me and follow me through churches. So, and then they're drawn to me more so. I would say the young people that I run into mainly are musicians, but they're musicians that are hungry for the word, as well as the young people that join our church. There's, for whatever reason, they're joining me and Marcus, and we have that, should I say, that gift to bringing people in and, you know what I'm saying, showing them the right way and showing them love, some that they might not have had at the old church, or wherever they come from. And we just give them that, and then I just feed them the word, you know, here and there. So I'm, you know, I would say that.
God is a God of restoration. He said, I will restore everything in the painful word, and the power word, have devoured.
No, I don't. Like I said, with the pastoring thing, when it comes to that, my father still, you know, he counsels the people. He don't want me to go crazy too soon, so that's what he said. So he still handles the counseling, because as of right now, he doesn't think that I'm ready for that, which is, you know what I'm saying, I can say I'm ready all day long, but like I said, this is still a new walk for me, so I can't, I mean, it's impossible for me to try to fill every shoes as a pastor, because I haven't walked through that situation yet. Yes, I have talked to some people, and I do have a little experience on my shoulders. I'm not saying that I know everything, but I do have a little experience. So as far as it being effective, I mean, when it comes to preaching, I would say yes. Now, as far as to going back in the days where this and that, I mean that's my father, because he can relate. I would say he can relate better to like the older people, but as far as getting the word across to them, they'll understand it, because like I said, from my study time with God and from me listening to what God has to say to his people, I've had after church, some of our older saints at the church come by and say, well, you know, I was just talking to the Lord about that, and he confirmed it through your words. So I would say I'm effectively, when it comes to hearing what the Spirit of the Lord says, when it comes for the preaching. Now, counsel, I ain't got all into that yet, so y'all pray for me, pray for my soul, you know, so.